ladies and gentlemen, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 5-time All-Pro, and 8-time Pro Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Paisano greatness, Joe Montana.
Yay!
Thank you, guys. Oh, my. How's everybody?
Well, we've already had a couple double golds over here. How are you?
Hey, you know what? Doing great. Just happy to be a part of. Had a great connection with these guys, and it's also, part of the 49ers are involved. And
happy that San Francisco 49ers and you are still so damn synonymous. What do you think about this season? It feels like Christian McCaffery back healthy is a much better place to be than where we were literally 1 year ago when we just learned. I don't know how much you knew before everybody else. When we find out that Christian McCaffery has the word Achilles involved in anything, we obviously immediately worried. It was tendonitis. He basically missed all year. We found out like 3 days before the season started. That kind of dampened everything, and I think the season went bah, 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 bah. This year feels like could be a bounce back year for the Niners in a big way. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they definitely have the team to be able to go in and compete with anybody. Obviously with Christian coming back is a huge plus of that offense, takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback. I think he got a little feeling the pressure where he felt like he had to do and contribute more instead of just going and, doing what he'd done for his whole life and just be yourself. And we always have that tendency that we want to make the change and make it quick, and now we got to make something happen. And so I think he just got caught up in that, and I think you'll see a different player coming up this year.
Do you like Brock Purdy a lot, Joe? How have you got the chance to talk to him? It feels like you guys have similar mindsets. I'm not 100% sure if you feel that way, but he seems to be ultra competitive and very cool, which obviously you have similar traits.
Yeah, I mean, I really like him. He usually doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's careful with the football. He's got great placement of it, as you can see here, and I just think he's got the right demeanor. And everybody has those kind of years. I had them. Everyone you can go to and look around at anybody, Brady, everybody. When injuries start taking place, your whole team changes, and then the quarterback seems sometimes that it's all rides on their back that they sometimes believe, and so they start doing things they wouldn't normally do. But I think he'll be fine.
Shanahan's offense has a lot of running, a lot of power. Obviously we've seen Trent in motion and everything like that. The Philadelphia Eagles just blew out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It feels like we're getting back to some power football. You like that, Joe? I feel like we football people all enjoy the way it's headed as opposed to where we all thought it was going to go. It feels like it's cyclical right now.
Yeah, I always said, when you go back and you look at the teams who win consistently, they always got a pretty good running game, and they stay consistent with it. And obviously Philly has had that. But I saw some guy named McAfee on a couple highlights a little while ago. So you're running with the ball.
Come on, Joe.
Kicking the ball.
Joe, I'm from Pittsburgh, bro. You get it. You understand that this happens.
I got you. I just want to let you know it didn't go unnoticed. You did a little bit of everything. I love
it. On to Twitter. That's going to be on my descriptor now. Joe Montana saw me make some plays, complimented it. That's huge for me, Joe. Paisan, I want to let you know that is gigantic for me. I think physical football is a good thing for our sport. And I think it's also, anytime we got the trenches kind of deciding games, which I think we're at the point again, once it being that, I think that's how the game was supposed to be played. Ty has a question for you about that Super Bowl.
Yeah, Joe, when you look at the Chiefs, because they got beat so bad by the Eagles, I think everyone's kind of just writing them off this year, and maybe it's Chiefs fatigue. Everyone thinks, hey, they had their run, they're kind of done. But with the documentary coming out, The Kingdom on ESPN, that kind of, goes over the dynasty that they've created and everything, do you think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs are poised to have a big year this year? Because it feels like nobody's really given them a realistic shot to win the Super Bowl.
Well, we all always obviously have an offensive player, but everybody points to the offense. But really, when it comes down to it, the teams that win consistently up there have a pretty good defense. And you can go back over the years where I always argue with Ronnie a lot about what was our better teams, because we had a little bit more offense later in the years when you got Jerry Rice and that. But I think they're fine. But you got to be able to stop people also. And I think that's the thing about it is you can go back and look, and they just didn't. They couldn't stop Philadelphia. And when you can't do that, I don't, you can score a lot of points, but you keep getting outscored. And although this was not that way, and like I said, we all guys who've had great years go back. You can go back when Danny came here. Unfortunately, Danny and I are great friends, but had a great year. But our defense was number one, and everybody forgot about that. And then you go back when we played the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and just bad days. It started off bad for me too. Even Dave Craig said, "Are you were MVP in this game?" I said, "Hang in there, it gets a little better." But
yeah, we got a good second half. We got a good second half.
Yeah. We all have those kind of days, and I think that's the Chiefs been there, done that. Kind of maybe a little complacent. Thought they everybody was overlooking them, but the Philly with push on Philly, but Philly had a good team. Good team.
Great team. They were able to get home with just 4 guys, too. I think that was the offensive line, seemingly. They had a guard playing tackle. They really didn't have it figured out. Anytime Patrick Mahomes is running for his life in a Super Bowl, feels like they're not going to win. Ain't that right, B.A.? Ain't that right, B.A.?
I think Vic took a nice lesson from Todd did a great job of taking our front 4 and getting after Patrick. I think he ran 5 miles that night. But one of the greatest throws I've ever seen, right in front of me, he's laying prone, about to hit the ground, throws it and hits a guy right in the face mask, and he drops it.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans and Chris Godwin go, he's unbelievable.
Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Always will be. I'm excited to hear your answer to his question actually here in a couple moments, Joe. The 2 goats chit-chatting about a position we obviously have massive respect for. Another person we assume you have respect for. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Joe, speaking of KC, you were there when Schottenheimer was there, and now his son is heading into his first year as the head coach of the Cowboys. How do you think, he's going to do, and what do you think he needs to do to establish, his culture, whether that is a old school Schottenheimer culture all the way back to KC or his kind of new take on the Dallas Cowboys culture?
Well, I'll take a page out of Bill Walsh's book and say, when things were always going bad or falling apart, and I alluded to it a little bit earlier, where everybody wants to try to make something happen. Instead of going back to we went back to the fundamentals. He would go backwards, not forward, not looking for something new. I'm going to go back to what I know we do. And that's what he needs to do when he gets with the Cowboys. Go in there, and like Pat said, got to get that running game going, take some pressure off the quarterback, and because there's a lot on him for sure, playing where he's playing, and the contract and controversial, all those things. They need to get the ball out of his hand as much as they can, and that you do that with the running game. And so hopefully they can get that established and get back to the old school Cowboy football.
Joe, you kind of alluded to earlier in that Broncos Super Bowl how it started ugly, but you had a great comeback. You were named the comeback kid, Joe Cool, all those things. What is the difference with those great quarterbacks? I play against Peyton or Brady or Big Ben, and those second half adjustments were just huge. What's going through your mind, the play caller's mind, when it comes to making those adjustments and being in the middle of these big comebacks?
Yeah, I think the big issue is just trying to get back within what you were doing. Usually, when you start making mistakes, you're outside of your comfort zone, and in that Super Bowl, I was skipping balls to the ground. So was John, and Dave Craig. He's laughing at both of us. But you just get settled back into the game. And what I really like to do was get hit me early, and that wasn't happening. I didn't get hit early, and you just you can't get into the flow of the game until you get a 300-pounder land on top of you.
Yeah, of course.
Then it wakes you back up, and you get right back in. And then now hey, I don't know what else is going on, but I need to get back to what I know I do best. And that's what we did. And we got back to our typical game plan. And we knew they did certain things where we could get a lot of chances down the field deep with Jerry and John. And so we ended up trying to just work that, and you go to your sweet spot. And that's what we did with them.
Well, it worked out. Everything about you is great. And now we're moving some whiskey mules, Russian mule. And if you scan the QR code that's on one of these cans,
just scan.
Dude.
Old throwback jersey. Yeah.
Joe, this is clean. This is a really clean shirt. As soon as Ty saw that this was potentially available, he scanned the QR code immediately.
Had to.
Now, I do believe it's going to be a little difficult to go pick up the shirt if you do not live near the Gold Bar Distillery.
Correct. Yeah, you got to pick it up in San Francisco. So
if you're taking a trip out there,
Treasure Island.
get yourself to Treasure Island.
Well, you'll be out here. You'll be out here for the Super Bowl, so you'll be
Scan away.
there we go.
I'm going to scan 10 of these things. I'm owed 10 shirts. I can't wait for it. They're great shirts. Joe, you're the man. Bruce has a question for you here, and I'm excited and eager to hear this, actually.
Yeah, Joe, I just wish you all the best, too, and especially in this endeavor. If you were general manager, head coach today, pick the top 3 quarterbacks you want to start your franchise with, and why.
I like this.
And not Brock Purdy. You can't take Brock.
Boom.
Okay, Brock is your number 1 pick. We know that.
Yep.
So you love Brock Purdy. You love Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I'm taking the guy in Buffalo.
Okay, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh. The guy that surprised me that I thought would obviously Joe Burrow's another guy I like a lot.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I like the guy with the Chargers. Just Herbert. Just Herbert. I think they've kind of gone by the wayside there, but I don't know. I just like the way those 3 guys are.
BA, how do you feel about his top?
I do also like the guy in Philly though. I won't get
Jalen Hurts. Okay. Just won a Super Bowl. We do like him. Brock Purdy, obviously number 1. He was left out.
Right.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts is his Mount Rushmore outside of Brock Purdy. BA, did you expect that from Joe Montana?
I thought he might have thrown Patrick Mahomes in there, but I think it states how.
Well,
good.
I think I would have if he was younger. I think
you're
he's still
GM.
great.
GM.
Although I got to go back. They're not getting hit as much today, so we'd probably play forever. So I should probably added Patrick in there.
I think, Joe, for us, it states how well we are in the National Football League right now with quarterbacks. I think everybody's worried about where these quarterbacks come from. We've got some really great young quarterbacks in the league right now, and I think the league's in a great shape.
Next generation, right, is in a good spot.
It's in really good shape.
I went for youth.
Yeah, smart. You're a GM.
Yeah.
You're running a 10-year business plan here, just like.
You want them to stay on the rookie contracts, I know.
Exactly. Yeah, we're getting some free agents out here somewhere. We need to pay
contract for contract.
Yeah, double gold with some people. We'll have a good time. Well, we appreciate you, Joe. Good luck with the double gold. Congrats on another, we assume, very successful business venture, and good luck to your Niners this year.
Appreciate it. Thank you, and hope to see you in Lanai.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will. I love that place. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe.